To all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. We begin from the presidency, where Vice President Kashim Shettima says Nigerian journalists are the nation's foremost defense against authoritarianism, noting that press freedom remains non-negotiable under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. Speaking at the 2025 conference and annual general meeting of the International Press Institute, Nigeria, in Abuja, Shettima said the media has continued to provide stability during periods of national tension by countering misinformation and holding leaders accountable. He further applauded the resilience of Nigerians' media, saying no dictatorship can thrive in a country with such a vigilant press. Now, in a decisive move to reposition Nigeria's airport system for global competitiveness, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has opened a 4-day board and stakeholders retreat in Abuja, focusing on future-proofing FAN leadership, modernizing and strategic renewal. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, reports.
Setting the tone for retreat, the Chairman Federal Airport Authority of Nigerian Government Board, Dr. Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, said the meeting offers a crucial moment to reaffirm the agency's long-term vision, prepare it for fast-evolving challenges within the aviation industry. He explained that the gathering provides a forward-looking space for strategic conversations on infrastructure expansion, operational efficiency, institutional reforms, and stronger policy alignment. Issues he described as essential to build a modern, service-driven aviation authority. According to him, the retreat is pivotal for repositioning FAN to thrive in an increasingly competitive global aviation landscape.
This retreat aims to provide a forward-looking platform for deep reflection and meaningful dialogue on the challenges and opportunities shaping Nigeria's aviation sector. Over the next 4 days, we'll examine issues such as aviation infrastructure development, operational efficiency, institutional strengthening, improved policy coordination, and enhanced collaboration among agencies.
The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo San, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Yakubu Adam Kofarmata, says the retreat marks a defining moment for the sector. He stressed that FAN's decisions shape the safety, security, reputation, and operational competitiveness of Nigerians' airports. He noted that the governance must remain firm and fair, implementation must be strategic, and collaboration must be culture that drives the aviation sector.
The reform of airport management processes to reduce bottlenecks and improve service delivery. Introduction of customer-centric initiatives designed to enhance airport cleanliness, comfort, and efficiency for financial and institutional reforms.
Managing Director and Chief Executive FAN Olubunmi Kuku emphasized the importance of collective resolve, transparency, and strategic foresight as FAN works to boost operational resilience, enhance profitability, as well as embrace innovation. Kuku noted that the retreat provides the blueprint for building a future-ready FAN anchored on service excellence and modernization.
The theme that we have chosen, future-proofing FAN, leadership, modernization, and strategic renewal, is both a mission statement and a call to action.
If the momentum built over these 4 days is sustained, Nigeria's airport will not only function better, they will stand as symbols of national confidence and competitiveness. This retreat closes with a renewed mandate and a unified resolve to transform today's conversation into measurable progress and to position FAN as the true driver to aviation excellence in 2025 and beyond. Sadia Yakubu reporting for Global Television News.
Let's now head to Kano State, where Chief of Staff to the former All Progressive Congress APC National Chairman and former Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs in Kano State, Muhammad Garba, has criticized the NNPP-led administration over what he described as embarrassingly poor and unacceptable budget performance in the first 3 quarters of 2025. He was reacting to a recent budget review published by an online platform which showed that critical sectors such as water resources, health and education recorded less than 40% capital budget performance between January and September 2025. He said the findings exposed the gap between the administration's public rhetorics and its actual delivery. According to the budget performance document published by the platform, the Ministry of Water Resources, one of the most essential ministries given Kano's long-standing water challenges, recorded only 13% capital performance after spending just 2.7 billion naira out of its 21.1 billion naira allocation. He said instead of building on the previous administration's completed project that included Tiga hydropower project designed to power water pumping and street lighting, the government abandoned sustainable solutions. The former commissioner added that after abandoning the more efficient IPP model, the government continues to pay millions of naira every month to KEDECO for electricity. He also criticized the administration's performance in the education sector, noting that despite declaring a state of emergency and allocating the highest share of the budget to education, the results have been a monumental disappointment. The Chief of Staff further expressed concern over the health sector's performance, noting that only 7.9 billion naira out of the 65.7 billion naira capital budget was utilized by September 2025. He also faulted the quality of road projects being executed by the NNPP government, saying many of the works are hurriedly and poorly coordinated. As part of its strategic response to the country's security challenges, the Senate is screening the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, as the new Minister of Defense today in an executive session. Leader of the Senate, Senator Kwemi Bamidele, made the disclosure in a statement by the Directorate on Media and Public Affairs, emphasizing the significance of the exercise to ensuring internal peace and stability. Musa's nomination followed the decision of the former Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru, to resign from his position due to what he ascribed to health issues. President Bola Tinubu has demanded greater efficiency, tighter coordination, and more measurable outcomes in the outgoing fight against insecurity across the country. The president made the call during a high-level security meeting with heads of intelligence agencies and the nation's service chiefs at the State House, Abuja. The closed-door meeting, which lasted for over an hour, reviewed recent security development and assessed the effectiveness of current operations nationwide. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has announced a 200 million naira donation to the Nigerian Legion as part of activities marking the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem Appeal launch. Speaking at the event held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, the president reaffirmed his administration's commitment to improving the welfare of serving military personnel, injured officers, and families of fallen heroes. The National Assembly, represented by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, contributed 100 million naira, while the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, donated 20 million naira. Now, 250 persons with special needs and vulnerable have benefited from 200,000 naira each under the Renewed Hope initiative of the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Our correspondent, Felicity Ndere, reports that the gesture is in commemoration of the International Day for Persons with Disabilities.
3rd of December every year is marked as International Day of Persons with Disabilities. This year, the focus is on inclusive financing to mark a real difference to the lives, health and well-being of persons with disabilities, their families and society at large. Special Advisor to the Governor on People with Disabilities, Ben Shuma Anshi, who appreciated the gesture, also commended the Benue State Government for demonstrating the Disability Rights Law, which provides the legal framework for the protection of physical challenged persons.
It is not our disability. It is not my disability, but our ability. This is a clear testament of an inclusive government.
Coordinator of the Renewed Hope Initiative in Benue State, Scholastica Bemso, noted that the essence is to ensure an inclusive society where everyone has the opportunity to contribute to the growth and development of the nation.
Today, the Renewed Hope Initiative will provide a sum of 200,000 naira business recapitalization grants to 250 persons with disability in each state and the Federal Capital Territory to support small business owners to recapitalize their existing businesses and strengthen their means of livelihood.
For the disabled, they will embrace the support as a seed of new possibility to grow their businesses.
I have never been empowered in my life, but here I am today. I have been empowered and I'm very happy. I'm going to use this money and open a very big business that will help me. I will be paying my bills.
So we are grateful, and this assistance is going to go a long way for us. Like me, I have my own business, I have a small business, and I know it's going to help me to push my business.
Several others in their goodwill messages expressed gratitude to the First Lady for the empowerment package, as well as other interventions by the Renewed Hope Initiative. In Makudi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global Television News.
It has advanced a major reform aimed at overhauling Nigeria's emergency response system with the consideration of a bill seeking to create a unified, toll-free national emergency number accessible to all citizens. The bill was sponsored by Abdulaziz Musa Yar'Adua, who said the aim is to unify Nigeria's numerous emergency helplines into one three-digit number such as 112 after consultations at the public hearing. He explained that Nigeria's fragmented system with multiple numbers for police, fire service, ambulance services, domestic violence unit, child protection centers, and disaster agencies creates confusion for citizens seeking urgent help. Now, amidst rising national security challenges, the Senate has announced a major reshuffle of its standing committees, fulfilling a promise to strengthen oversight and improve response to security threats. The chairman of the committee and president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, made the announcement during plenary session on the floor of the Red Chamber. National Assembly correspondent Topsy Gimba has the details.
Senator Yahaya Abdullahi of Kebbi State has been named chairman of the Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence. He replaces Senator Shehu Buba from Bauchi State, who is now chairman, Committee on Livestock and Animal Husbandry. Additionally, changes were made in the Senate Committee on Air Force, where Senate Minority Whip Senator Osita Ogu of Enugu State is now the acting chairman.
On selection, met, and the new chairman of the Senate Committee on Livestock and Animal Husbandry is the distinguished Senator Shehu Buba, and the committee chairman on National Intelligence and National Security is the distinguished Senator Abdullahi Yahaya, CON. Then we have acting chairman on Committee on Air Force, the distinguished Senator Osita Ogu. Then the committee chairman on national planning will be distinguished Senator Mustafa. Distinguished Senator Musa Mustafa, you will now be the new chairman on Committee on National Planning. I will give you the composition of your members with the vice tomorrow.
Senate leadership emphasized that the reconstitution aims to enhance its capacity to oversee national security matters more effectively amid the evolving security landscape. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
Matters, the House of Representatives is set for a decisive moment in Nigeria's constitutional evolution as lawmakers prepare to open debate at the 6th Amendment to the 1999 Constitution. The development has triggered intensified lobbying for gender advocacy groups and renewed calls for urgent action on insecurity. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
After months of legislative engagement, the Special Committee on Constitution Review has completed its assignments and deliberations on all amendment bills, which will commence at the next legislative sitting.
The Constitution will start from tomorrow. After we finish our consideration of report, because the other paper is going to be light, we'll start debate on the Constitution.
On the constitutional amendments, women advocacy groups are intensifying efforts to secure lawmakers' support. A gender desk created by the Speaker also engaged members in the lobby of the chamber to rally last-minute votes.
We are trying to do is to promote inclusive governance. When you have 50% of your population out of decision-making processes, it's something that we need to reverse. And so what we are here to do is to support this reserved seat bill, which is practically promotes, it's not taking away from the men.
Our expectations are that the bill will pass, and this is history right here, because in 2022, the bills were thrown out. They asked us, if we ever lobbied, and today,
we're going to get the yes votes. So the decks were just set up to, just to enlighten members about the content of the bill. We realized that a lot of members do not even have idea of what is in the bill. Some are, talking about their seats being taken, which is not the case. So we have to enlighten them every day, tell them that this bill does not take away your seat, it creates an additional seat. So it's more about education, enlightenment, and
Insecurity also took center stage as legislators representing areas affected by banditry demanded urgent government intervention for the safety of their constituents. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reported for Global TV News.
Head to Imo State, where the First Lady Chioma Uzodimma is leading a fresh, forceful campaign to end female genital mutilation, calling the practice a grave assault on the dignity, safety, and future of girls. Her renewed advocacy is energizing a statewide movement that brings together lawmakers, traditional institutions, and international partners. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe reports.
In Owerri, the Good Hope Women Flourish initiative, supported by the United Nations Population Fund and the United Nations Children's Fund, hosts a major stakeholders engagement aimed at eliminating FGM across Imo communities, with the theme Elimination of FGM in Imo State. First Lady Chioma Uzodimma called on parents, traditional leaders, and institutions to reject harmful cultural norms and protect young girls from the practice.
Every girl is born complete and beautiful, exactly as God created her. She needs no cutting, no alteration, no improvement through mutilation. When we subject girls to FGM, we reject God's perfect creation.
Supporting the advocacy, Speaker of Imo State House of Assembly Chike Olemgbe expressed readiness to reinforce legal framework and strengthen public enlightenment. He says, ending FGM requires both strong legislation and consistent community dialogue.
The House of Assembly has enacted a law that is not centered on wickedness, but to enable the masses, the community leaders, the stakeholders support this initiative.
Representatives of VINIPA and UNICEF emphasized the urgent need for sustained grassroots mobilization, noting that the health risk and long-term trauma associated with FGM demands more active reporting and stronger prevention system.
We wish to especially thank Her Excellency, the First Lady, for her commitment, her dedication, her consistent advocacy, community mobilization efforts, and unwavering support to the well-being of women and girls and also survivors in Imo State.
The other encouraging finding is that the prevalence of FGM among women aged 15 years to 49 years in Imo State has reduced from 61.7% in 2018 to 34.3% in 2024.
With growing political will and renewed collaborations among government, partners and communities, stakeholders remain confident that Imo State can secure a future where no girl is subjected to FGM. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV.
Discussion on creating state police has continued to gain momentum, but concerns remain over the risk it may pose to national unity and democratic stability. The National Youth Council of Nigeria Vice President and members of the State Police Creation Committee, Umar Loya, said giving state governors direct control over police formations could lead to political interference, abuse of power, and a breakdown of uniform policing standards across the country. Loya argues that instead of establishing state police, which may also place heavy financial pressure on states, Nigeria should strengthen the existing federal police through better training, improved equipment, increased manpower, and stronger community policing partnership. He noted that reforming the federal force is a safer and more sustainable approach to boosting nationwide security. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, Doctors Without Border call for medical evacuation in Gaza. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that break, and now to business news, where President Bola Tinubu has announced a landmark partnership between the federal government, global aircraft manufacturer Boeing, and the United Kingdom-based Cranfield University to establish a world-class maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility in Nigeria. Tinubu stated this while opening the Made in Nigerian International Air Show in Abuja, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. Akume described the initiative as a defining step in Nigeria's aviation journey, one that places the nation firmly on the global aviation map alongside internationally celebrated air shows in Freiburg, Paris, and Dubai. Still talking business, the House of Representatives is raising serious concerns over the continued withholding of more than 30 billion naira recovered from the National Social Investment Program Agency. Lawmakers warn that the delayed release of the funds is crippling the government's flagship poverty alleviation schemes and denying support to millions of vulnerable Nigerians. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick tells us more.
The alarm was triggered during Tuesday's plenary after a motion of urgent public importance moved by Saidu Abdullahi, member representing Niger State. Abdullahi told the House that NSIPA is the federal government's central coordinating body for major social intervention programs, from the GEEP micro credit schemes to the homegrown school feeding program and the grants for vulnerable groups. He said these initiatives were designed to lift poor households, boost school nutrition, support small businesses, and stabilize communities across the country.
Credible sources have indicated that this recovery funds, estimated at over 30 billion, have not been remitted into NSIPA's designated treasury single account, thereby stalling program implementation and leaving millions of intended beneficiaries without the social and the economic support envisioned by the federal government.
The lawmaker recalled that President Bola Tinubu suspended NSIPA operations in January 2024 to allow for a thorough investigation into alleged financial misconduct. According to him, various security and anti-corruption agencies subsequently traced, froze, and recovered billions of naira from commercial banks and payment service providers, funds originally meant for key programs like trader money, market money, farmer money, and the vulnerable groups grant. He warned that the delay is stalling the implementation of social programs and leaving millions of intended beneficiaries without critical economic relief.
Deeply concerned that the prolonged non-release of these funds undermines the Renew Hope agenda by slowing down poverty alleviation efforts, weakening small-scale enterprises, exacerbating hardship in rural and urban communities, delaying local economic stimulation, and eroding public trust in the government's social protection commitment.
Responding to the motion, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, who presided over plenary, announced that an ad hoc committee will be constituted to investigate all
Let's
funds
keep-
recovered from NSIPA between 2024 and 2025.
The constitution will start from tomorrow. After we finish our consideration of report, because the other paper is going to be light, we'll start debate on the constitution.
On the foreign scene, a Doctors Without Borders report has urged countries to open their doors to tens of thousands of Gazans in urgent need of medical evacuation, warning that hundreds have already died waiting. Dr. Hanim Islam, who coordinates medical evacuations from Gaza for the charity, says the numbers taken in by countries so far remains, in his words, just a drop in the ocean. And now to the world of sport, where the popularity of the table tennis among young people across Africa continues to rise as this year's African Youth Games in Angola records historic turnout. The 2025 edition will take place from December 10 to 20 in Luanda and other Angolan cities, featuring around 33 sports across 6 host cities. More than 30 countries have confirmed participation in the Continental Youth Sports Fiesta, marking the largest entry in the event's history. And that's it on Global News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim. Saying a very big thank you for watching.